How long?
Oh gosh, years now. I never let Ivy work on it because it's too painful.
Oh, okay.
So just ignore it.
Which one is it?
The right one is worse than the left one. They're both pretty tight.
So what kind of therapies have been done on it?
Muscle stripping have been done on it. We've used foam rollers on it. I think I've used foam roll on my own. I guess that's it. Like we've done some, just regular massage on it.
How long you've had it?
Oh, years. I'm going to say 10 years.
10 years.
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah. It's been a while. It's getting so tight though, it's pulling my knee. Like I can feel it when I walk. It's like shifting my knee out.
Well, let's see what it's like. Why don't you just lie on the table, on your back, and let's put you facing that way, the head there. It's this one, right?
What's the other one?
That one? Let's turn around. Want to face the room, right? Okay, so if we go like this, right there, and there, so all that's really tight, right?
Yeah.
Who's Robert? Why don't you come up? Why don't you check this out? Make sure that I'm feeling what I'm feeling, right?
Yeah, oh, that's the one. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So you know what it's like now, right? Okay, don't need to abuse her anymore. So, there are a lot of ways to treat the IT band. Some people do the scraping, like the grass bin or the other kinds of tools, gua sha. So they bruise it purposely. And, when I was Rolf back in the 70s, back then Rolf only trained big people because that's the only people could do her work. And so he leaned his elbow into my IT bands. I had been a runner for years, and he just pressed it all the way to the bone and then slowly came up from the side of the body. And I'm writhing on the table. Do you feel better now? And, so in the lighter forms of myofascial release, you would put your hands on there and you wait for, 5 minutes, 10 minutes and try to, you have your hands like this, they're on their side, right? And you press like this and you try to get it to melt. So there's lots of things that's going on here, but there's IT band is a band of connective tissue, right? It's not a muscle. So muscles attached to that thing. So the focus should be on what's pulling on that rather than on the IT band itself. Occasionally IT band has adhesions to the vastus lateralis, but that would be my first option. So you have muscles like the gluteus medius and the gluteus maximus directly attached to the IT band. That's the tensioner, right? So they use the IT band to transfer power down below the knees, so you get some hip flexion and abduction and some other things, right? And also going down here, besides the muscle underneath the IT band, the vastus lateralis, you have gluteus minimus, we'll refer trigger points all the way down here. So if you have stuff going on there, you'll feel it down here. And if you only work on here, you won't address the problem, you'll still feel it here. So in NRT, we teach that the muscles can practically instantaneously release your tension, and the pain goes away very, very quickly in most people, within so many seconds. But with the fascia, it takes longer because it's got no native blood supply. So it takes a little bit longer for the pain to go away, but we can greatly diminish it pretty quickly once you get the tension off of it. Okay? So let's try a little bit of NRT. So there's a lot of things that are going on here, and check all that there, right? Up there.
That feels okay.
Yeah. So, So can you lie on your side, this side up?
Yes.
So we're going to do a few things. I'm just going to ask you to get a little reflex hammer out. So what I'm going to ask you to do is just press against here. Yeah. And if you can push here. And I'm going to do this action, you do this, that. I'm going to do that. You stay. Okay. Okay. And let's have that straight and right. So did we do everything? Almost everything. I'm actually taking my time at it. The first thing I did could have probably done it. But I'm resetting all these muscles that might possibly influence this. So can you
do this?
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's do that. Okay. Let's understand.
Back again.
So how's that now?
That's good.
How good is it?
Really good. That doesn't hurt at all. What? And my foot is so much straighter. It's not really rotated at all.
Yeah.
And the legs relaxed. Are you using the same amount of pressure you used to?
Yes.
Yeah.
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 Now, she didn't have to be abused to do that, right? It only took a few seconds to reset all those different muscles that might play a role into this. So what I'm trying to get a point here is that NRT can be very, very efficient and very, very fast and not traumatic to you as a therapist, because you don't have to use your hands, elbows, and tools and stuff to do that, and it's less traumatic to the client. You don't have to put her into an emotional release. You know, a lot of times when we do very hard things on our clients and they go through an emotional release, we go, oh my God, that's so wonderful. They're releasing all that emotion. Well, yeah. So we don't need to abuse our clients anymore once we learn how to do these things, okay? So has this ever felt like this before after?
Not for a long time. No, not after any work. It's usually real sore at the touch.
Yeah, yeah. And this is the thing, that you won't be sore, you know, from the abuse the next day, you know. Because we're not releasing, you know, those endorphins from, you know, when you do something painful for a while, you release endorphins and you feel good mentally, the tissues feel bad. You know. So, thanks.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. So, Mary had a question about, I did it from the other side.
Yeah, it was for right IT band that was the most troublesome, but you work on the left side.
Yes, I worked on the opposite side. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, without even touching the right side.
Didn't even touch the right side. See, unique to NRT is I discovered this principle, and we'll talk about it in class, how all this works and how to do it. You can do it from the same side, but I chose to do it on the opposite side just to show you this unique aspect of NRT work, you know, reset therapy, in that you have somebody that has a cast on one leg, or poison ivy, or burns, or all this other stuff that goes on, and you literally can't touch that side. You can always reset it from the other side. And if they have a lot of, well, I had a lady once who was a nurse, and she was like 350 pounds or so, and she was in the hospital. She had knee replacement surgery. And she had all the wrappings and stuff around the knee that had been worked on 3 days earlier. She was supposed to do a rehab immediately, but she could not bend her knee, the one that got replaced. Everything was locked up. So she sat there in the bed for 3 days, unable to do her rehab. And scar tissue is building up, you know, the tissues are starting to heal, and that's not a good thing. She said, can you please come? So I went to the hospital, and in about 1 minute, went to the other side, did some things, 1 minute's work, unlocked her knee, and she's able to do your rehab. Yeah. Just that simple. So this is really one of the real gems of NRP work. You can do it from the outside. Once you learn how to do it, you go, why didn't they discover this thousands of years ago? You know, I'm still amazed it wasn't discovered thousands of years ago. Because, you know, people have been doing manual therapy on each other for a long, long time. You'd think the Chinese would have figured it out. Since they figured all this stuff out before us, you know, for the rest of the world. Yes?
Those are interesting is St. John talked about all this stuff, but it wasn't really utilized.
That's right.
We'll talk about that too.
And he was talking about Paul St. John, neuromuscular. He was like the father of neuromuscular therapy in this country, and he talked about some of these laws of physiology, but he didn't figure out a way to utilize them, and that's what we're doing. So, you know, I was certified by Paul St. John himself, and I've done many thousands of years of work doing neuromuscular therapy. Wonderful work, but there is a less and an easier way, a less traumatic and easier way of doing this stuff. You know? So we'll start the class and we'll see what happens.